Meant to Be Well Summit is created by three incredible women, Ambreen, Valerie and Andrea. The main objective is to bring together experts from around the world to raise awareness about the importance of holistic well-being. This summit aims to explore the multidimensional aspects of well-being, including physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual health. This isn't just any event. It's a unique, global summit marathon designed to cover all time zones across the globe. We created this event because we genuinely care about you. We believe that everyone deserves to thrive and live a life of well-being. This summit isn't just about learning, it's about transforming your life. Our speakers are dedicated to inspire, uplift, and help you tap into your full potential. Join us, and let these world-class thought leaders guide you toward a higher level of mental, physical, and spiritual well-being.
Hello, hello, hello. Super happy again. Another familiar face in the studio. Hi, Brian. Oh my God, I'm so happy every time I see you because it's like coming with you, starting this day with you and Nancy. I think it has been such a pleasure because you have been there since the beginning, and it means to me so much that we celebrate this 5th anniversary in such a beautiful, changing, evolution phase of all this Global Empowerment Hub, suddenly transforming into a Meant to Be Well global virtual marathon, and also to a hub which is focusing on mental health and well-being. So Brian, thank you so much for being here.
It's an honor to be here. It's an honor to support you. I'm so proud of you. 5 years has gone by so fast. It's crazy. Hi, Peter. So good to have you with us. Yeah, it's been an incredible journey, and I just have loved seeing you blossom, and to be here, to be able to support you along the way.
Thank you so much. So I don't know whether the audience knows. I think Peter knows you, and maybe a lot of people know you already. Brian is an amazing person, a multi-time a book writer and bestseller book writer, and also he's the one behind the Voice Your Vibe, and with Nancy together, they are doing a lot for the communities around mental health and well-being. They are having a huge project this year. I mean, almost every year they have something that they are coming up, and you can see them live most of the time on LinkedIn. And this is timely that we are speaking today because they also have been taking a little bit of break off social media because they had to care about their own mental health. And I think that's such a timely thing that we need to do this sometimes. And I thank for the audience, Peter and Achan, for being here almost at every session. I know it's hard, but we told everyone that this is a mental health and well-being summit. You can rewatch the sessions. You don't need to be here all the time. Take some breaks, have a walk, dance around, have your coffee. We are really thankful for you, and we appreciate you that you are here with us live. So Brian, without further ado, you have an amazing presentation and some sharing prepared for today. So I will pass you the mic, and thank you so much for doing this. I'm really happy that you are here with us.
Thank you, love. So happy to be with you and to be with everyone. So good morning and good afternoon and good evening, wherever you're joining us from around the world. It is an absolute honor to be here with you today and speaking at a summit that has a special place in my heart. It brings to light such a vital conversation, and that's the practical application of mental health and well-being practices. Now, we are in a time where mental health is no longer a conversation that's kept in the shadows. Instead, it's become really something that's more at the forefront of how we build resilience and how we find success. And most importantly, how we live fuller, healthier lives. So today, or tonight, or this morning, wherever you are, I want to connect with you on something that's personal. And it's something that we all face, regardless of our journey: fear, failure, and the unknown. Now, these are not just barriers to success. They're in fact pathways to it. And there's success in fear. There is success in failure, and there is success in the unknown. So I want to take you on a journey through these ideas because they've shaped me. just as they've likely shaped you, whether you realize it or not. Let's start with fear. Fear is powerful. Fear is instinctive. Fear is a built-in survival mechanism that's been with us for generations. But in today's world, fear isn't about running from a predator. It's about running from challenges, challenges that stretch us, challenges that push us out of our comfort zone. And the truth is that fear can be transformative if we learn how to harness it. Now, fear often shows up when we are at the edge of growth, whispering in our ear that we're not good enough, that we're going to fail, or that we're just not ready. But the magic happens when we confront that fear head on and ask it, what are you here to teach me? You see, fear is not the enemy, it's a teacher. It's guiding us to a deeper level of understanding. So let's apply fear to mental health. Imagine those moments when you felt overwhelmed, maybe anxious about a project, maybe anxious about a presentation or even a personal challenge. What did that fear bring with it? Well, often it brought growth. The fear of public speaking, for example, pushes us to prepare, it pushes us to practice, and ultimately to perform. And it's in these moments, fear doesn't hold us back, it propels us forward. And when we embrace it as a motivator instead of a roadblock, we gain the courage. We gain the courage to step into spaces that we never imagined we'd be capable of navigating. So the next time that you face fear, I want you to pause and I want you to ask yourself, what can this teach me? And then step forward, not in spite of fear, but because of it. Okay, now let's talk about the success of failure. We often think of failure as a final outcome, an end result that signals defeat. But failure is not final. It's a necessary step on the journey to success. And if fear is a motivator, then failure is our greatest mentor. I want you to think about the most successful people that you know. I guarantee you that their stories include failure, often multiple failures. You see, failure teaches us resilience, it teaches us perseverance, and it teaches us creativity. It forces us to reassess, to recalibrate, and to move forward with more clarity and with more purpose. The only true failure is when you stop trying. Now, in my own life, failure has been a familiar companion. Whether it was launching a new project that didn't quite take off or learning hard lessons in business, every failure was, in fact, a stepping stone. Each one revealed more about my strengths and weaknesses, and each one gave me a clearer sense of purpose. My learning how to skateboard at the age of 40. Well, it's a good example. I actually learned how to skateboard when I was a kid, but a great example, right? There's a growth moment there. And when we apply this mindset to mental health, we begin to see setbacks as opportunities. Imagine struggling with anxiety or depression. I don't have to imagine it. I've experienced it. There will be days that feel like failures. There will be days when we feel like we've made zero progress, but those days are not the end. They are chapters in a much longer book. You see, because every time we get back up after falling, we're stronger. Every time we get back up after falling, we are wiser. and we are better equipped for the journey ahead. So, when failure strikes, because it will hit you and it will feel like failure, don't ask, why did this happen to me? Instead, I want you to ask, what can I learn from this? That shift in mindset can literally change everything. Okay. Finally, let's explore the unknown and the success of that. Now, the unknown is perhaps the most daunting of all of them. It represents everything that we cannot control, everything we cannot predict, and everything we cannot anticipate. And yet, it is the unknown that our greatest potential resides. You see, the unknown it's where possibility lives. The unknown is where innovation happens. And the unknown is where we find breakthroughs in both our personal lives and in our careers. And yes, it's uncertain, but it's also ripe with opportunity. The key is to embrace it with everything within you rather than to fear it. The unknown invites us to trust. It invites us to trust in ourselves. It invites us to trust in the process and in trusting that the universe has a plan far greater than we could have imagined, a far greater plan than what we can see in the present moment. Mental health is deeply intertwined with our relationship to the unknown. How many of us have experienced anxiety simply because we didn't know what was coming next? We worry, we plan, we try to control every single detail. But what if instead of resisting the unknown, we leaned into it? What if we allowed the unknown to be a space of discovery, to be a space of potential? In business, the unknown is where true innovation happens. No great company was ever built from a place of certainty. It was built by those who dared to take risks, those who dared to venture into uncharted territory, and those who ventured to trust that the road would reveal itself. And in the same is true in life. When faced with the unknown, I want you to remember that it is not something to fear, but something to embrace. It's where your next breakthrough lies. So, as we wrap things up here today, I want to leave you with this. Fear, failure, and the unknown are not obstacles. They are allies in your journey to success. They are part of the process that shapes you, that refines you, and that builds your resilience. In the realm of mental health and well-being, these elements teach us patience. These elements, they teach us self-compassion, and these elements teach us the importance of staying the course, even when it feels difficult and hard and unimaginable. So, the next time you feel fear rising, the next time you stumble and fall flat on your face, or the next time you face the unknown, remember this: there is success in each one of those moments. And when you embrace that success, you step into the fullness of who you are meant to be. I want to thank Andrea, Ambreen, and Valerie for creating such an incredible and innovative event. This is an event for the most inspiring and dedicated individuals around the world, and that's each and every one of you that's joining us live and each of anyone that's joining us in replay. A global space that is safe, a global space that is welcoming, a global space that is impactful and inspiring, and a global space that focuses on mental health and well-being for all, providing a platform where diverse voices contribute to the dialogue on mental well-being, unrestricted by geographical or societal labels or boundaries, to transform your approach to personal growth and global impact. You, each one of you, are redefining the landscape of global conferences by being here with us today. And that is exactly what these incredible three ladies are doing. They are empowering minds and bodies and spirits worldwide, and echoing Mahatma Gandhi's famous words, be the change you wish to see in the world. Well, ladies, you are doing just that. And I thank you for your enormous hearts and your inspiring actions. And I want to thank each and every one of you for joining us today. It has been my absolute honor and privilege to spend the time together with each and every one of you. If you would like to connect, please send me a personalized LinkedIn invite mentioning that you saw my keynote here at the Meant to Be Well Global Summit, so that I do not miss your invite. And we do have an opportunity, an incredible opportunity for you, that we'll be sharing with you in just here a little bit.
I love your sharing, and there were so many comments coming in. I just want to take a few of them because I think everything was so nice since the beginning. Everyone was here with you. So, hi, Peter. Thank you so much for joining in. Thank you for being here. Alchan, of course, watching every session. Melanie, thank you so much for tuning in. And I see that. I love this comment from Achan, getting out of the rabbit hole and transforming to a newer self. Beautifully said. I think it's a nice takeaway and summary of everything. And I really love Melanie's comments also to a lot of things that she feels, and she resonated with your speech. Thank you so much, Melanie, for being here from Spain. And I also see. Team Zone here, forever fan, such a strong person, and inspiring so many dealing with similar challenges that he's dealing with. Thank you so much for being here. And yes, I think this was a beautiful, engaging session, and you shared so many things. Maybe after your perspectives and the overall message that you send out to the universe today, you can also share a few practical tips, because this approach, this part of the Asian part that I'm leading this morning and afternoon, it's also sharing practical tips and practices that people can do throughout their daily lives that can help them to either just get back to normal life and get over some hard moments, or just to stay up top, or stand back up. So maybe you can share your personal practices that you are doing sometimes when you need them.
No, I'd be happy to. Look, I've been knocked down and hit and beaten up and so many times. And, I will tell you, I think the most important thing is recognition of the moments when they happen. One of the things that I realized many years ago was that, I used to always ask, why is this happening to me? Like it was one thing after the other. And I'm like, why? Like what? And it's one of the worst questions that you can ask, because you won't get the answer to why it's happening. What you have to understand is that it's meant to happen. It's like when you're falling down over and over again. The reason why you keep falling down over and over again in the same place is because there's something down there that you haven't found yet. There's something you haven't learned yet. And there's growth in every one of those moments. So I think one of the most important things I can share is when you reach those moments where you're going, come on, I want you to, and those moments where you are struggling so much. I mean, just you are stuck in the wet cement and you don't feel like you can get out of it. I want you to appreciate being in that moment. It is not an easy thing to do, but I want you to try and think of me as like Geppetto on your shoulder, right? And just going, you're growing so much more right now than you could ever possibly imagine. And you will not fully realize and understand that until after it's happened. But in that moment, if you can remind yourself when you're stuck in the suck that you are growing, it's a psychological shift that actually helps you to keep moving forward. So that's a really important one. It got me to stop asking why and to just start laughing and go, okay, I get it. It's supposed to happen. I don't understand why. And I get that I'm growing because this is really uncomfortable. Get comfortable being uncomfortable, by the way. That is one of the other things that I highly recommend. Yes, they do. That is where all your growth moments come from. Our growth moments do not come from the trophies. They do not come from it's not it's not that. It's this stuff down here. It's all that down here where we don't want to go, where we don't want to sit and stay. We want to get out of it and we want to be up here. But realize that it's the down here moments where we grow, where we learn, where the magic happens. And those moments are your inspirational moments, because those moments not only will inspire you, they will inspire someone else. I realized that sharing those moments, as much as they sucked, the reason why it was supposed to happen, and it was supposed to happen because I was supposed to share that moment with someone who is struggling in silence, that doesn't think they can get out of where they are. I have way too many friends, especially from LinkedIn, that are no longer with us because of those moments where they have felt like they were suffering in silence. Thank you so much. And it's hard, you know, it's not easy. Doing what we do is not easy. I hate the word influencer, but being an influencer is not easy. There's so much you don't see. There's so much struggle you don't understand because we don't always share that, right? But, you know, I've struggled a lot over the last handful of years going through a divorce, and my world turned upside down in every way possible. And I realized the importance of sharing that. And for the first time in my creator journey, shared that while it was happening in the moment. And it was terrifying. I usually share it after it's happened, but I felt the need to share it while it was happening because I just felt in my heart that there were others that were either experiencing the same or experiencing their own moments, and they needed to feel that. You know, Maya Angelou said, people may forget what you say, but they will never forget how you make them feel. You know, being vulnerable is powerful. It is empowering to others, especially men. You know, men crying is okay. This stigma that it's not okay. And I get it. You know, it's, you have to unlearn what you have learned. We have to unlearn what we have learned. And the more that we can do that and share our experiences of growth and share our struggles and share our pain openly, and not just in words, but express it on video, express it in images of you where you're just completely broken down and distraught. You know, that's not easy to do. I know. I did it, but I never share doing these things unless I have done it myself. I always look to lead by example. So know that you're not alone. Know that we are here to support you. Andrea, myself, all the ladies, Nancy, Deborah, we are all here to support you in this journey. And please share the second part. Which part?
Yes, it's just for Dorian, because I think the first part came through of the message, but then the question part didn't come through. So I was just asking him to fill up this.
Got it. Okay. Part. Yes.
No worries. Thank you so much for sharing, and thank you for Melanie also for giving all these beautiful messages. Yes, the vulnerability, I love that. And I have to share also here that in Malaysia and in Asia, in this part of the world, it's really hard, especially for men. So I really welcome you to that you were mentioning this, that men needs to accept also vulnerability and embrace it on a way. But it's good to see that there are men's circles popping up. So a dear friend of mine, he also started like a men's circle, and they're coming together, and then they are like just embracing and trying on new things that they have never tried before. So here we go. Yeah, here we go, Dorian. The second part of the question.
How can you overcome the fear of being vulnerable just because you've been betrayed so many times, and even though best intentions just locked you down? That's such a good question, Dorian. You know, fear and vulnerability is a real and honest thing. It's hard, you know. I mean, but the best things always come from the hard, you know. And again, I say this from so much experience. I think it's asking yourself, what's the worst thing that can happen? Like, the worst thing that happen is you feel something. But isn't that life? Like, isn't that, you know, it's like saying, I don't want to fall in love. I don't want to get my heart broken again. Like, how about you reverse that and go, how lucky were you to experience love for whatever period of time that was? There are so many people in life that don't get a chance to experience that. Like, that's a gift. Again, it's a mindset shift. It's just thinking about things in a different way. I am by default naturally a glasses half full kind of guy. I will be honest, the last handful of years, that's been really hard for me. But when you have people that are there to support you, like Andrea, like Nancy, Deborah, like others, it makes it a little bit easier. The other thing, Dorian, I would say is this: remember, you're not alone. And remember, there are people that are here to sit with you where you are in the journey and in those moments. And I think that's such an important thing. You know, honestly, I don't know what I would have done stuck in the wet cement in the dark basement with no doors, no windows, no lights, and no, unable to breathe. Like, if I didn't have Nancy, Deborah there along in that journey, I don't know where I'd be. It's one of those things, having people that can sit with you, that are there to support you, that are there to listen. That's extremely powerful. And remember that those people are there. You're not alone. It is easy to feel like you're alone. I have felt it many times, but I think the important thing is to remember that, that you're never alone, and your feelings are real, and it's okay to sit in those feelings and not rush out of them. Again, a lot of learning and growth in my journey, and I share these things with you as I've experienced them, and learning from others that have experienced them before me. To, you know, it may not be something that you kind of get right away. It probably won't be. It's hard. It's hard to grab onto.
I think this is a good part to wrap up the session, and we will also share your video about your, just connecting to this thought, your project that you are. I'm so excited for you, and we would love to include everyone in this. And please listen to the video. And if you would like to be part of this journey, send me a DM. If you have registered, you have number, or you can just straight away message on LinkedIn Brian, and then he will share with you the details how you can basically participate in this project. It's especially about sharing experiences, and by sharing experiences, reading those stories of empowerment, you can actually get into the practice and try to model it, because we know modeling is super powerful in life. And when you find a resonating story, it's a bit easier to get out of the situations that you are in.
Yeah.
So thank you so much. And
as you get ready to play this, Nancy, Deborah, and I are very excited about this project. And, the world needs more hope right now. The world needs more inspiration, and the world needs more action steps to help. And that is exactly what, when Andrew's going to play this video, that you're going to learn a little more about. So as Andrea said, if you'd like to be notified when we officially launch our call to, and you'll understand what that means in a second, you can email me, Brian at voiceyourvibe.com. that you're interested in, that we'll reach out. And you can also reach out to Andrea as well, because
we will do that. Let me start the video, because after we have to jump in another studio. So Cedric, who just joined, jump to the other link. I think this was the wrong one. And for the audience there, please welcome and thank you so much for your collaboration, by being part of the conversation and by showing up for Brian and Nancy, and for being here with us for the last 30 minutes. Thank you so much. Let's see that beautiful project that is coming up. And thank you so much, Brian, for celebrating the 5th anniversary with us. Thank you. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Brian Shulman, 17-time #1 bestselling author and 6-time LinkedIn top voice. And today, I'm here to ignite a revolution in storytelling. You've been told that your story could be a bestseller. What if I told you that's just the beginning? What if your story could truly change the world? We are launching a groundbreaking book series designed not only to publish another bestseller, but to empower our community. We'll guide you through the art of crafting your most authentic and impactful story. A story that isn't just read, a story that's felt, that's shared, and that's celebrated. And here's what sets us apart. We're going to help unleash your power. To our expert coaches who are going to help you excavate the deepest truths of your experience, transforming vulnerability into undeniable strength. You're going to build and forge unbreakable bonds, joining a tribe of courageous authors. You see, because in this community, you are never alone. You're supported, you're uplifted, and you are driven by shared purpose. And we're going to help you master the digital realm by teaching you how to unleash your story on social media, turning your message into a movement that builds a powerful community around your narrative. This isn't about merely publishing a book. It's about launching a wave of change. Your story has the power to heal, the power to inspire, and the power to galvanize. It's time to rise to your greatness. Let your wisdom and experience be the breakthrough they need. Rise to your greatness and watch your world change.